Pro-lifers prepare to convene in Washington, D.C. for the 46th annual March for Life. The March for Life says neither rain, snow, not even a government shutdown will stop this year's event. At least tens of thousands of pro-lifers are expected to attend the rally on the National Mall and then march to the Supreme Court. It's a peaceful protest to the 1973 Supreme Court decision Roe v. Wade, which legalized abortion nationwide. This year's March for Life is taking place just weeks after a pro-abortion majority took control of the U.S. House of Representatives and passed a funding bill that repealed the Protecting Life and Global Health Assistance policy. That pro-life policy bans foreign aid from going to non-governmental organizations that promote or pay for abortion procedures. Joining us now is House Minority Whip Representative Steve Scalise of Louisiana. Congressman, thank you for joining us.
Great to be with you. Thanks.
This effort by Speaker Pelosi and House Democrats to repeal the Mexico City policy is one of the first acts by leadership in a Democratic House. What's your response to this vote?
Well, it's incredibly disturbing to see that on literally their first week in the majority, Nancy Pelosi is trying to reverse the Mexico City policy and let taxpayer money go to foreign entities who provide abortion. It's wrong. That's something we fought for decades. Ronald Reagan, obviously, is the one who established that policy in Mexico City, and it's an important policy that's helped strengthen the morality of the United States when we speak with moral clarity all around the world. We need to maintain it, and we will.
As Republican leadership in the House, what do you expect the next 2 years to look like for you as you continue to fight for the pro-life cause?
Well, it's going to be a battle, and I think everybody that's watching understands. They remember what Nancy Pelosi did when she was Speaker back from 2006 to 2010. If you look at her majority today, it's much more liberal and far left and more pro-abortion than the majority she had then. And so it's going to be a bigger battle, but we're up to the challenge. And the most important thing is to make sure that we don't lose any ground. We have made some historic and important wins over the last few decades to advance the cause of life, to stand up for the moral values that this country was based upon. And we're not going to relent. And President Trump, by the way, is there with us every step of the way. Even if a bill gets to his desk, which I doubt seriously any will, that would reverse any of our pro-life gains, President Trump would veto that. And we will be able to sustain any veto so that we maintain the pro-life wins we've achieved over the years.
This funding bill passed by the Democrats also included funding for Planned Parenthood. Congressman, would you ever vote for a funding bill that funds abortion? No,
and in fact, I helped put the coalition together 2 years ago when we passed our repeal and replace of Obamacare. In that bill, we were able to put a provision in that fully defunds Planned Parenthood completely, not just on the discretionary side, but especially in Medicaid. Medicaid is the program that funds a lot of the Planned Parenthood initiatives. We completely defunded that in our repeal and replace bill. It failed by one vote in the Senate, but it shows the House had a willingness in the last majority to pass that kind of legislation and take those votes. While Nancy Pelosi might want to give them more money, we will battle every step of the way and stop that from happening.
Congressman, I want to turn now to the March for Life. The world's largest pro-life event is set to take place in Washington. Why is the March for Life important to you personally?
For me, it's just so exciting and inspiring to see young kids from all around the country come to Washington to stand up for life. If you watch the media, they would try to portray young people as all pro-choice and kind of a different value set. And then you meet these young kids. I know from my state of Louisiana, we have over 1,500 young kids that are coming up, mostly high school age or early college, coming up to Washington to stand up for life. And a lot of times they come up here and it's snowing and it's cold, and they're out there on the mall just showing how strong their commitment is to the values that life represents. And so for me, we're here in the battle every day, but to see people from all around the country, it just shows that this is a cause that is not just something that's part of a generational fight, but the next generation is part of that fight as well. And we're ultimately going to win. I'm so encouraged to see what's happening on the Supreme Court. President Trump has done a wonderful job in putting Neil Gorsuch and Justice Kavanaugh on the bench. I really think in some time, in our lifetime, we're going to see a reversal of Roe versus Wade. and allow the true values of life to ultimately prevail.
It really is an exciting time for the pro-life movement. And speaking of your pro-life views, Congressman, how does your Catholic faith inform your views?
Well, my Catholic faith had a strong role and plays a strong role because these are my values. You know, I was brought up with a strong Catholic upbringing. Look, in Louisiana, our jurisdictions are called parishes, not counties, named after the church parishes. So, you know, it shows you that value set is established from an early age, and I think it's important. You know, we do that, my wife and I do that with our kids, and I think everybody ought to instill those values in their children from an early age, and hopefully it sustains them through their life.
And finally, one of the added benefits of having the March for Life in Washington, D.C. is that potential for conversation with lawmakers. So as a lawmaker yourself, what kind of impact do these conversations with pro-lifers have on you? Does it make a difference?
I think it does show in a very visual way that the next generation, our young kids, have a large number of people that really do stand up for the values of life. You know, we've got to continue to spread the message. Not everybody believes in the things that we believe in, and there are some people on the fence in this battle. And I think them seeing thousands of young people from their home states saying, we're young people, we're high school students, college students, and we believe in life. We want to see policies, laws that actually represent those values, like the Pain Capable Bill, which I'm a co-sponsor of, like making permanent the Hyde Amendment, which right now is a value set that since Henry Hyde came to Congress, we were able to put in appropriations bills. We need to make that permanent law so we don't have to renew it every year, that it's actually foundational law. I'm a co-sponsor of that bill. Getting those bills passed is going to take a broader coalition. And so the more young people can come up from all around the country and go meet not only with those of us that are fighting in the battle, but to get more people in Congress to agree with our values and vote for those values, to put more of those strong policies into law. It helps tremendously.
That is great to hear. Representative Steve Scalise, the House Minority Whip, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. God bless.
Chuck Donovan is the president of the Charlotte Lozier Institute. He joins us now in studio. Thanks for being here with us.
Great to be here, Catherine.
First off, can you speak to Congressman Scalise's leadership for the pro-life movement within the House right now? How important is his role?
Oh, he's absolutely critical. You know, no one has a better understanding of the value of life after what the congressman went through, recovering from a near mortal assault here in the Capitol. But he has fought for life as long as he's been in the Congress. He's in the leadership. He has a lot to say about what gets scheduled, but now he'll be on defense. But we couldn't have a better defender.
From your expertise, what do you expect these next 2 years to look like with a pro-abortion majority?
Well, we've already seen it. The congressman discussed the Mexico City policy in the very first bill that the Democratic majority in the House offered. They repealed the pro-life policy protecting the United States from funding abortion overseas. I think it's going to be heavy seas. I think we're going to have multiple assaults on existing pro-life policies. We're going to have to be on our toes. The public's going to have to let the Congress know to stand fast and give Steve Scalise and his partners max support.
Absolutely. I'd also like to get your reaction to a recent message from the new Planned Parenthood president. Dr. Leana Wen recently posted on Twitter, in part, "Our core mission is providing, protecting, and expanding access to abortion." Core mission. Is this a new messaging strategy for Planned Parenthood?
I think it's the same reality, but it's a new emphasis. And what it is sort of an in-your-face statement that the Congress may want to end Planned Parenthood's Title X funding or something else in the funding realm, but they're actually going to go deeper into abortion. And the truth is that is exactly what they've done. They control about 35 to 40% of the U.S. market, if you can use that phrase, for abortion. And they're going to push abortion and raise the numbers. They're not getting the message that Hillary Clinton said a long time ago about making abortion rare. They want to make it common.
We're seeing this new Planned Parenthood president, Dr. Leana Wen, frequently tout science and medicine. She is a medical doctor. But can you speak to how pro-life is pro-science, which is this year's March for Life theme?
Well, absolutely. The March for Life has, to my mind, chosen the best theme possible. We know that life begins at conception. We know that medical science is making a perinatal revolution where more and more babies at mid-pregnancy are getting treatments and therapies. This is where the most exciting medicine is taking place. And the basic facts haven't changed. The unborn child is a unique human being with a DNA footprint all of its own. And of course, we believe too, it was created in the image and likeness of God. It's precious. That's the ultimate science. Science is about truth. And the truth, I think, will prevail on the life issue. I'm glad the march is proclaiming it.
Absolutely. And this is the 46th annual March for Life. Why in 2019 is the March for Life still so important?
Well, it's so important, as Congressman Scalise said, it's a focal point. It's also a focal point for the next generation. They are coming out in ever greater numbers with ever higher enthusiasm. At the Lozier Institute, we are getting record numbers of internship applications. We have a great, the people we turn away breaks my heart because we love to accommodate them all. But I think the future looks pro-life, it looks young, it looks fresh, it looks free, and it's free for life. And I couldn't be happier with where we're headed.
Absolutely. Chuck Donovan, president of the Charlotte Lozier Institute, thanks for being with us.
My pleasure, Catherine.